This is Alex Palmeri and his 1961 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2. Cruising seamlessly through a quiet street somewhere in the heart of Chicago. A few years ago, the pro restore from Legit Streetcars paid $26,000 to own every inch of this British luxury icon. And back then, it felt like a steal, especially for a running car with so much history and prestige behind it. But don't let that short victory ride and tempting price tag fool you. This beauty has been abandoned for over 60 years, collecting dust, rust, and a slew of cosmetic and mechanical problems that Alex and his team will attempt to tackle in this video. Can they get it done? From a distance, it's hard to tell how much damage this beast has endured through the years, but once you zoom closer, the picture becomes as clear as daylight. With the damage assessment now complete, it was time to proceed to the next phase. First off, Alex took out the seats and sent them out for a comprehensive recovery process, which cost $6,000. You're probably wondering why a seat restoration would cost that much. Well, it turns out the guy who handled them isn't just a roadside furniture restorer. He's a reputable upholsterer who has worked on several luxury car seats, including one that reportedly belongs to the Queen of England. For this particular job, he used high-quality leather and spent 6 whole months working tirelessly to give the seats a flawless look and a charming scent. But elsewhere, the interior carpets were barely hanging on for their lives. They look old, dirty, and literally unredeemable. In other words, there are no guarantees that they can be restored. And getting a ready-made replacement will be difficult, considering that every component on this car was made back in the 1960s. Yet Alex, Peter, and Max decided to test their restorative skills by giving it a shot. But before they could even think of restoring the carpets, there was one more thing to tackle: the springs under the bench seat. With 3 men hounding the seat from different angles, it seemed like this was going to be a quick and easy fix. But that wasn't the case. The springs were much more complex than the men had anticipated, and Peter unfortunately had his elbow bruised. But the team refused to quit. On the contrary, they maintained the intensity with which they started the restoration, even sharing smiles and inside jokes through the entire process. Once the seats were fully assembled, it was time to have a go at the carpets. That first round of scrubbing made an instant impact on the carpet. Decades-old stains started to loosen up and peel away, but some stubborn grime refused to give way. So Alex fired up his carpet cleaner for another round of deep cleaning. Now, that's a much better improvement, but could it be even better? Absolutely. So, round 3 it was. This time, Alex called for extra support, combining the powerful punch of the carpet cleaner with the heat of a steamer. Next, he sprayed the carpet with Tough Stuff multi-purpose cleaner, hooked a brush on his drill, and set out for another round of scrubbing. Still not satisfied with the result, Alex unleashed the full force of a vacuum cleaner on the carpets. Then he put them out in the sun to dry. With the carpets now polished and shampooed, Alex returned to the workshop. And before he could fix any other thing, he made sure to throw out the dirty water from all that hard scrubbing. It wasn't really pleasant to watch. But I'm pretty sure Alex was more than satisfied, knowing that 60-plus years of dirt and grime had just gone down the drain. Up next, it was time to reinstall the refurbished upholstery. And just like that, the back seat installation was all done and dusted. But before the team could install the front seat, they needed to recall the carpet from its little sunbathing vacation. With the carpets now in place, Alex and the team continued their mission for the interior. And here it is, the interior of this 1961 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2. Looking absolutely stunning. Some of that credit has to go to the 90-year-old woman who previously owned the car. Her careful preservation over the years meant that critical components like the wooden dash and gauges arrived in nearly perfect condition. Of course, you've got to applaud the entire crew at Legit Street Cars for their skill and persistence. And let's not forget the upholsterer, the genius behind the leatherwork who restored the seats to perfection and even added a fold-out tray so passengers can enjoy a meal on the move. Seems like Peter is testing that feature out already, which shows that the interior restoration was done, and it was time to move on to other parts of the car. The crew started by hauling this majestic car into a wash bay and giving it a well-deserved bath. The outcome was quite encouraging. I mean, it made the body panels look cleaner, glossier, and instantly worth a few $1,000s more. But overall, the paint was still dull and unbefitting of this majestic luxury car. So Alex set out to give it some shine, using a coarse compound and foam pad. He started with a small section of the hood to test the waters, and the transformation was mind-blowing. With that success in hand, Alex knew exactly what needed to be done. Unfortunately, he ran out of cotton pads, plus he needed an extra hand to help him out. So he grabbed Peter, and together, they scrubbed every inch of the car with the coarse compound using towels and wool pad. If you ask me, I think the towel and wool pad combo did a better job than the foam. But they couldn't erase the scratches and rock chips around the car. A full body paint job could solve the problem. But according to Alex's calculation, that would cost around $15,000. Alternatively, the team could do touch-up painting and hope that they are able to cover all the blemishes without causing further damage. It's definitely not a straightforward decision, so while they ponder on it, let's go down memory lane to explore the history of this car. Built at the legendary Rolls-Royce factory in Crewe, England, the Silver Cloud 2 arrived in 1959 as a true game-changer. While most people admired it for its majestic posture and elegant design, it was also a serial performer on the tarmac. It carried a 6.2-liter V8 engine under its hood, something that no other Rolls-Royce vehicle had dared to do before. And on top of that, it offered a series of upgrades that endeared it to dignitaries and made it quite expensive in comparison to the average car. Alex is lucky enough to have gotten this one for a massive discount, but he still has to figure out what to do with the exterior. After some deep deliberation, he decided to pay $15,000 for a full body paint job. So he took this 1961 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2 on a redemption ride to a paint shop. And like a sculptor chipping away at marble, he patched every single dent he could find. Once the paintwork was complete, Alex added a finishing touch, a custom plate reading LSC, short for Legit Street Cars. Then came the big moment. After 200 hours of hard work, sweat, and pure determination, the transformation was finally complete. This pretty much has to be one of the most interesting finds of Alex's career, and fixing it was far from easy. It took a whole lot of effort not just from Alex but from Peter and Max. I mean, the intricate level of details that went into the finishing says it all. These guys are superb at what they do. But now it's time to have some fun. Peter took over the steering, and Alex? Well, he settled comfortably in the back seat as the rightful owner of this restored 1961 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2. And off they went into the distance. In some way, it felt like a replay of the first scene of this video, where Alex took this car for a ride. Except this time, he was in the back seat of a transformed luxury car with a gleaming exterior and a plush, rejuvenated cabin. What's your favorite part of the restoration? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out the channel for other exciting videos like this one.